Okay, let's do this. Hi guys, so today I'm filming a Q&A. So I can't remember the last time I did a Q&A, but I put a photo on Instagram and asked you guys to ask me some questions. I never prepare myself when I do these videos, I just go through them and answer as I go. So excuse me if I say something wrong. I don't rehearse the questions or anything. I never even rehearse my videos ever. I just sit down and just let it come to me in a way. So yes, before we go on, I quickly want to say everybody always asks about my lipstick, so I will link it below. And also I actually have somewhere that I can tell you guys to go and get this dress if you're interested. It is on my Instagram, but I will link this dress below. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that, guys, but I love the dress, and if you like it, I will link it for you, because usually I buy all my clothes, you guys know, from the op shop, but I actually got this from Princess Polly, so I'll link it for you guys. So let's go through the questions. I always like to make my Q&As very chill. The only thing that would make this like 10 times better is if I had like a glass of wine in my hand right now, but it's work night, so I can't do that. So I'm just gonna roll through them. Do you have any traveling plans this year? Okay, so obviously you guys know, if you keep up with me and if you follow me on Instagram, I am planning to come to New York City sometime this year. I would say maybe the middle of this year. Would love to go for my birthday, like that would just be epic. So hopefully like around the middle of this year. I have a few like business things over there and a few cool things that, you know, New York City would be the place. So I definitely want to go there maybe around the middle of this year, like I said. If not, maybe towards like September. So we'll see, but definitely New York City. You guys know how much I want to go there. I've already been there once, but I went there for dancing. Like I danced there, I think it was 2016, I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, but I went there, and as cheesy as it sounds, I like fell in love with New York City. Again, so cheesy, but I thought it was like the most magical place ever. It was just so different to where I live. Like I live in a very small city. I live in Perth, if you don't know, Western Australia, and it's very small. The best part of Perth is the beach, and to be honest guys, like the beach is not enough to keep me here. Like I'm not interested in staying here for much longer. I want to leave and just explore the world, and there isn't anything for me here in Perth. Like as sad as that sounds, I don't have like an attachment to Perth. Okay, going on a tangent already. So yeah, any other traveling plans? I am probably going to France in September as well, which will be amazing. Guys, it'll be for a fragrance thing, so I'm very, very excited about that. So yes, okay. Would you rather travel USA or Europe? I want to go both, but probably USA, maybe USA, I think. Oh, that's hard actually. I don't know. Have you ever dated a black guy? Like honestly guys, my Q&A is like, you can ask me anything as long as it's not too disgusting and it's inappropriate, like really inappropriate, I'll answer it. Have I ever dated a black guy? No, but this is like a fun fact about me. To be honest with you guys, like I've always been very, very, very attracted to black guys. I just always have. Somebody said, do you like sushi? Yes, sushi is actually my favorite food in the entire world. If you want to win my heart, just get me sushi. Like sashimi and like nigiri, oh my god, it does things to me. Like I just love it so much. I could eat probably raw salmon for the rest of my life. Like I could literally just eat that for the rest of my life and I would be such a happy girl. I love it so much. So yes, sushi is my favorite food. Okay. Oh, this is actually a good question. Don't you get tired of talking about fragrances so often? That's a good question. No, I really don't. I love fragrance so much. I think you guys can tell. A lot of you guys notice how like passionate I am when I talk about fragrances, and that's because I genuinely am passionate about fragrance and smelling fragrances and talking about them and finding new fragrances. Like I just love it so much. My whole entire life like basically revolves around it at the moment, and I couldn't be happier. I'm the sort of person that I can't do something that I'm not passionate about. So I've done, like I said, like I did ballet when I was younger up until I was 19 years old or 18 years old. And it was what I was most passionate about for most of my life until I probably turned about 16, 17, maybe till I turned about 17. And then I started to lose my passion for ballet because of other reasons. You guys know, if you watch me, I had like an eating disorder, and it just completely ruined ballet for me totally. So for me, I need to do something that I'm passionate about, otherwise I'm not stimulated, I'm not motivated, I'm very unhappy. So for me, I just have to talk about stuff, and I have to be in life doing things that make me excited, make me passionate, make me inspired. Like, I just have to be. And I know that sounds really selfish, but for me, I couldn't work a 9 to 5 like a cashier job or something. I'd be so miserable. I would do it like if I needed to, like really needed to, and I was, you know, couldn't afford food, I would definitely do it, but I would be miserable for sure. How long have you done ballet? Okay, so I did ballet from when I was 6 years old. I did this thing called calisthenics before that. Before I did ballet, I did something called calisthenics, and I did calisthenics up until I was 13, 14, and I loved it so much, guys. Like, I loved calisthenics so much. It was so much fun. If you don't know what it is, just kind of look it up. It's very hard to explain what it is, but it's basically dancing. It's still dancing. So I did that, and then I started ballet when I was like, yeah, maybe around 6 years old. And I just loved it so much, fell in love with ballet, fell in love with everything about it, and I was so passionate about it for my entire life, like I said, up until I started getting a lot of issues mentally from it, and then it just became something that I had to do, and something that just became like sort of like pressure. Like, I was just basically doing it because I felt the pressure to do it, and it wasn't a healthy time in my life, that's for sure. I realized when I turned 18 that I was so much happier just living normally and living a normal life than when I was at ballet, and that was when I knew that I had to quit, because it wasn't making me happy anymore. And to be honest with you guys, I'm gonna like let you in on something right now, but I don't think any ballet dancer, there would be very few that are actually genuinely happy, because it's a very tough industry. It's a it's a horrible industry, if I'm going to be honest. It's a horrible industry. They do pressure you to be thin, and there's a lot of corruption and everything like that in it. So I'm not going to go into that, but it's not as beautiful as it seems on the outside. It's brutal and it's really awful. So I'm very glad that I don't do it anymore. I am much happier. I am definitely the happiest that I've ever been. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't dance anymore. I do it as a hobby. I love doing it as a hobby, and if you follow my Instagram, you'll see sometimes I do stuff in my bathroom and everything, but I still do it at like classes as a hobby, but I would never do it professionally again because it's just too much. It is too much. What kind of food is my favorite? Obviously, guys, sashimi. All the way. Like, I could literally eat it 365 days. I love it so much. Oh, okay, what's the meaning of your forever tattoo on your butt? If you don't know, I have a tattoo on my butt that says forever, and there's like little flames going out. I'm gonna be totally honest right now, I could just make up some bullshit story of how I got that tattoo. Guys, it was a really random, spare of the moment sort of thing, which is very much not me. I'm not a random person. I'm very like, I like to plan things, not too far ahead, but I do like to plan. Like a tattoo, I would have planned it, but I remember one day, this was a long time ago, I saw this photo of a girl's butt with this tattoo on, and it was the forever tattoo, and I just kind of really liked it. I'm not sure why. I was like 18 or 19, I can't really remember, and I was like, I want to get this tattoo. Like, I want to get a tattoo. I was in a really bad place at that time, and I was just like, I'm getting a tattoo. Like, fuck it, I'm getting a tattoo, and I just went and got it. And if I'm going to be totally honest, I think I've said this before in another Q&A video, I love tattoos, I really do. I probably won't get any more just because I have been told by a lot of people, I know you should do what you want to do and live your life and whatever, but I've been told by numerous people, like, just don't get tattoos, you won't suit them. So I do like to listen to the people in my life, especially the ones that I trust, and I probably won't get any more, but like I said, I really do love tattoos. Like, I was gonna get a huge dragon, like going from my stomach onto my like hip and stuff, and I had them all screenshotted and ready to go, but then I decided like, I'll just stay there. But I do actually like tattoos, like especially on guys. I do find tattoos attractive. Doesn't mean that if you don't have them, you're not attractive. I just find them kind of cool and like edgy, I guess. I don't know. if you had the chance to create a perfume, what would it smell like? I've been asked this in a few Q&As and it's such a tough one. Like, I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. Obviously, I know what sort of notes that I love the most. Like, I have like a list of fragrance notes that I love the most. I love white florals, but I don't think that I would create a white floral. I love gourmands. You guys know that I love gourmands, but I'm not sure if that would be like the most versatile fragrance to create. I just don't know. Like, I really, I'm a bit stumped on what I would personally create, but that could be happening. It could be, something could be happening this year maybe, which is very exciting. So, like, I know if I did like a men's fragrance, cardamom would be something that I would be including in there because I love cardamom in fragrances. Like, I love when a man's fragrance has a little bit of sweetness and a spiciness, or like aromatic. Like, they're my favorite sort of fragrances for men. Nothing that's too sweet or too much or anything like that, or too fresh. I really like a perfect balance of a little bit fresh, a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet. Like, I really like that vibe. So I think I would have a much better direction if I was creating a men's fragrance. But for women, I think the pressure's so much. Like, I just don't know what I would create. So many nice comments here. You guys are so nice. Like, I have the most, like, I could literally, being a typical Cancer here, like, tear up thinking about how many people are so beautiful and kind and supportive towards me. Like, genuine support. Like, it's not even like fake, it's like genuine ride or die supporters. Like, and it literally means so much to me. Like, I'm not gonna cry, but it means so much, and I honestly appreciate it so much. Like I said, I get a fair bit of hate for somebody that only has 56,000 subscribers. I get my fair share of hate. I feel like in the fragrance community, I'm definitely one that's pretty hated. But to be honest, guys, I couldn't give a shit. Some of them, some people like definitely like just grind my gears a bit, and I just want to like just like kiss my ass. Like, I don't even know what to say sometimes, and I find it, like I said, very childish because I'm 20 and I don't act like that, and I don't think I ever will. So I just find it like there's something going on there with that person. But anyway, I think the best thing to do when there's like hate, you just ignore it and you just move on. Like, you just keep hustling and grinding and just rub it in their face of how successful you are compared to them. Like, that's my vibe. That's how I go about it. Honestly, every single one of you guys make my day. Like, genuinely do. How did you develop such a mature outlook on life at such a young age? Okay, I would definitely say my eating disorder had a lot to do with that. Not that I'm saying that that's like a good thing to go through, but I think any time that somebody goes through something that's really, really rough and really like just bad, I think it helps to shape the person. And I know everybody says that, and it's a very obvious thing to say, but it really, really does. I've always been a very mature person though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've always been very mature. I think it has something to do with me being a Cancer, to be honest with you guys. Like, I know if you don't believe in astrology, then that doesn't mean anything to you, but every Cancer that I've met usually gets along better with older people, and that is exactly me. Like, I genuinely get along better with like 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds than I do like 18 to 20 to late 20s. Like, I genuinely get along better with elder people, and it's quite funny. Like, it's a laugh, to be honest with you guys. Like, I'll make friends with like an old person that's like 50 or 60 faster than I'll make friends with somebody that's my own age. I've always been very, very mature. I do think that my eating disorder did have a lot to do with me growing up quite fast. But I went through something with my family in 2017. Yes, 2017. I'll brief you guys like just a little bit, but I don't want to talk about it. So we're not going to go into it too much, and I'd appreciate like no questions, like any further questions about it, because I don't want to talk. But at the end of 2017, my mum actually lost her business and it just went totally under, and that just made the entire family just collapse. So it was a very, very, very hard time. 2018 was hands down my hardest year of my life. I've never ever been through something that tough, not even my eating disorder, which was horrendous and just awful. But 2018 was by far the hardest year of my life, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So it may not have looked like it, it may not have It may not have seemed like that at all, but genuinely was the worst experience that I've gone through. I realized how strong of a person I am. I know how strong I am as a person, and my mum as well, so I'll leave it there. Anyways, that went a little bit deep, so let's see. Oh, okay. Do you plan on making your own fragrance someday? Yes, of course. Like I said, I may be talking about a collaboration right now. So a collaboration for me would be my first step. I would love to collaborate with a brand that I love. I would never collaborate with a brand that you guys have, you know, I've never associated myself with and I just randomly come out with a collaboration. I would never do that. For me personally, because of the person that I am, I would only ever collaborate with a brand that you guys know that I genuinely love. So that would be the ultimate here. So who knows? Yeah, I would love to do a collaboration, be able to create and have the creative control of what I want the fragrance to smell like, and just everything. And then I would have a beautiful launch party and then launch my fragrance, and I think it would just be so much fun. And it would also be a great way for me to see how many of you guys would buy my collaboration. I would just love to see like who would buy my fragrance and if you guys would, so then I would know for the future if I do come out with my own brand, I should say when I come out with my own brand, that it would do pretty well, because obviously that's a lot of money. And yeah, so I definitely want to come out with my own brand one day, but in a very long time, maybe like 3 years, because obviously you need a lot of money to come out with your own brand. And the way that I would want to do it, I think I said this before, I would want a beautiful website. I would want to release a men and women's perfume at the same time. I would, again, want a launch party. I would want to send out, you know, press packages and all that sort of stuff. So I would need a lot of money because I'm extra. Are you still vegan? If not, can you explain why? I've had a few people actually message me and ask me if I am still vegan. And no, I am definitely not vegan. I know I did promote it in numerous, I think a few Q&As, I mentioned that I was vegan and how good that I felt and stuff like that. And honestly guys, I could make an entire video about I almost did, like when I kind of transitioned back to eating a few animal products, like I was almost gonna make a video, like I was almost there. But I decided not to, just because my channel isn't like that and I didn't really think you guys would care. But no, I'm not vegan anymore, and the reason is basically because if you've ever seen those I'm not vegan anymore videos, my story is pretty similar. Like it's very, very similar. When I first went vegan, when anybody first goes vegan, usually they feel absolutely the best that you've ever felt in your entire life. Like you're gonna feel better than anything. You're gonna feel literally high on life because it feels that good. But eventually, as you continue and continue and continue with it, for at least me, this is my experience, all of the cracks started to fall. Probably about like 4 or 5 months in, I started to feel really bad, and I didn't really pay attention to myself or like what was going on, because I really didn't know, like, and I really didn't want to believe that it was veganism. And by the way, I was vegan for about a year. So after like 5 months, it just progressively got worse and worse and worse and worse. And I have actually like a notes saved in my phone, like a note in my phone of like why, like what happened to me and all of my symptoms and everything. And I'm not going to go into it now, but guys, it's just, I definitely don't believe, and I'm sorry if you're a vegan right now, I'm so sorry, but I did it for a year. So, and I loved the food that you got to eat. Like I love veggies and plant foods and potatoes and carbs. Oh my god, it's just like, it's like heaven. Like it literally is like heaven for me, because I was never a big meat eater. So the diet itself I had no problem with, but the way that I felt and my body telling me that something was wrong, I could not continue the way that my body was. Like I was really struggling, not only physically, but mentally, with migraines and pain and blurred vision. Like I had all of these different things going on that I wasn't telling anyone, and it was just bad. So the day that I switched over, I immediately felt better, and I knew that it was vegan, and now I feel literally the best that I've ever felt. I train harder than I've ever trained, and I have the energy to do everything in life. So hell no, do I not recommend a vegan diet. I definitely don't. Are you 100% recovered? You are such an inspiration. Thank you so much. Yes, I am 100% recovered. obviously I have bad days, like everybody has bad days, and I definitely do. And I would say if you've had an eating disorder, like I think if you're watching this right now and you've had an eating disorder, you know exactly what I'm about to say. I don't think it ever really truly leaves you. I think you've always got some little part inside of you that struggles with it. So that's always going to be there. And I'm not saying that to like, you know, make you guys lose hope if you're going through it right now. But I think that just how strong that mental illness is, I think there's always going to be some little bit in the back of your head that it's just still there, just like a tiny, tiny bit. I am 100% recovered, but I do have bad days. Some days are, you know, a little bit challenging, but it's nothing compared to what I went through. Like, it's absolutely nothing. So anyway, when is your birthday? My birthday is June 26th, and I was born in 1998. I'm a 98 baby. Yeah, so June 26th, and I'm 21 this year, which is so scary to say. And I'd love to spend my 21st in New York. What makes you happy? Definitely like filming videos. Like, I have to say, like, filming these videos and having a YouTube channel has totally changed my life. Like, after quitting ballet, and ballet was the thing that made me happy, at least for most of my life. I was very, very lost, like very lost, and I've told you guys this many times. I started partying, and I started drinking, and I started to meet boys, and like I just went a little bit off the rails, if I'm going to be honest. But it took me I got myself in check pretty quickly, to be honest. Like, I didn't have the experience that a lot of people have of like years of it. I just had it for like a bit, maybe like a year, and then I got myself back on track. But I was very unhappy, and I didn't find happiness, like true happiness, for a very long time. I would say I only really found true happiness like maybe the end of 2018, like after I stopped being vegan. But to be honest, like, yeah, around that time I started to kind of get, I don't know, I just started to feel better mentally. Like, that's another thing. I think a lot of mental illness is linked to like not eating meat. Like, I genuinely think that now. But anyways, so yeah, towards like the end of 2018, I definitely started to become a lot happier. There's a lot of things that make me happy, but I would definitely say like the number one thing is, you know, my channel and where I think that it's gonna go. Like, I believe in myself a lot, and I know that that may sound a little bit arrogant, but I don't mean it like that at all. I just mean that, and that's a tip from me to you guys. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna get anywhere. You have to be your biggest supporter, and that's something that I didn't have when I was a ballet dancer. I did not believe in myself, like, at all. And I was good, guys. Like, I was good. Like, everyone told me that I was amazing and I was special and I was a star. Like, I'm not joking. Everybody used to tell me that sort of stuff, but I didn't believe it myself. Like, I did not believe it. I thought I was shit. Obviously, I wasn't the best dancer in the world, but a lot of people told me that I was very, you know, like a rare talent, and I just didn't believe it. And now that I'm doing YouTube and I'm doing this whole fragrance thing, like, I genuinely believe in what I'm doing, and I genuinely believe in myself. Obviously, I don't think I'm the shit, but I do believe in myself, and I do believe that I can achieve what I want to achieve. You just have to work for it. You fucking have to work for it. Otherwise, because nobody's going to do it for you. Have you had any experiences with fake friends? How do you deal with it? That's a great question, and to be honest with you guys, I'm a bit of a loner. Like, I don't have many friends. Like, I have a very small friendship group, and I've always been like that. Like, always. Like, I've never been the sort of person that has so many friends, and that's probably as well because I'm a Cancer. I'm very introverted. I like a really close friend that I can be really intimate with, and we can talk about everything. Like, I'm much more like that. So obviously there's times where I want to be lighthearted and have fun and go out and party and stuff, but at the end of the day, for me, I don't get much out of that. I prefer like a deeper friendship and more meaningful and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm definitely a bit of a loner. Like, and I actually like my time alone. So I've never, like, as soon as I can sense somebody's fake, I just like cut them off. Like, I'm better off on my own with no friends than a fake friend. So I genuinely, I don't know what to say, because like I said, I like my time alone and I like being on my own. So I don't often have experiences with fake friends. And honestly, if you do, cut them out of your life. Like, you do not need that. What made your love for fragrance spark? And what was your first fragrance? I honestly don't remember my first fragrance. Like, that's so sad. Being a fragrance reviewer and I don't remember my first fragrance. But what made my love for fragrances spark, my mum was so into perfume, and she still is to this day. My mum literally wears half of my collection. Like, she wears more of my collection than I do. Like, she's really into it, and she always was, and I loved whenever I would smell my mum's perfume. My mum used to wear Flower by Kenzo. I know so many people hate that perfume, and I don't know why, because to me it smells really good. It smells beautiful, but it may be because my mum wore it. And I just remember always, like, as a kid, like, hugging my mum, and I could just smell her perfume. Like, she either wore Flower by Kenzo or J'adore, and I just remember, like, I remember those scents, and they just mean so much to me now. Like, I think I may have talked about this, but I actually tried to wear my mum's perfume to school many times, Flower by Kenzo. I would put it on, and I actually got told off by my teacher in year 4, and she called my mum in, and she just went off at me because I was wearing perfume. She noticed that I was wearing Kenzo Flower, and she got really mad and told me never to wear it again. So I've always loved perfume. I just love it. I just love it so much. 3 things that you love and hate about yourself. Okay, so we'll start out with the love. I love that, this is so hard. I honestly don't like talking about myself too much. Like, if I'm with someone, I want them to talk about them and let me listen, so it's a bit uncomfortable. But the 3 things I love about myself, I would definitely say, 1 is that I'm very passionate and ambitious. Like, those are things that I look for in another person, so I love that about myself. I'm so passionate. I believe, like I said, I believe in myself, and I'm very ambitious, and I want what I want, and I know I'll get it. So that's one thing that I do love about myself. I'm not arrogant though at all. I don't think you guys think I'm arrogant, because I'm definitely not. But I do really, yeah, that's something that I love about myself. Another thing, I'm very kind and very generous, like very, very generous. Some may say too generous, and I'm also very kind, and that's something about my personality. I do find it to be a bit of a counterproductive sort of thing though, because a lot of the time I'm a bit of a pushover. I definitely can be, and especially in like business and all that sort of stuff, you can't be like that, and I definitely am, where I don't always know what I'm worth, or I don't always know what I deserve. I just kind of let people, like, you know, like, kind of push me around a little bit, I guess you could say. So I definitely need to work on being a little bit more like authoritative, and a bit more like, I want this, like, I'm not settling. Sometimes I can be a bit soft when it comes to like work things, and I can be, yeah, like a little bit too gentle, because I don't want to upset anyone, or I don't want to like step on anybody's toes. Like, I can definitely be a little bit sometimes of a pushover, but I'm not, like, if you piss me off, I will confront you. So I'm not like too much of a pushover, but I can definitely be a little bit too soft at times. And then the 3rd thing, what do I love about myself? I don't know, there's 2 good things that I love about myself: passionate, ambitious, and I'm also very soft and gentle. So 3 things that I hate about myself, I've said this many times, but I can tend to sometimes be, I'm a lot less negative now. Like, definitely as my life has progressed, and I don't know, I feel like I've definitely become a lot more confident this year. I know we're only like in 2 months, but maybe like the past few months I've become a lot more confident as a person. I don't know if you guys can tell, and I'm not really sure how it happened, but I've just become a lot more like confident in myself, and I'm really happy about it. I'm actually very, very happy, because I didn't want to be not confident, and I didn't want to portray a person that is, you know, weak and not confident. And I definitely feel like I've worked on it, and I'm getting there. Like, I'm definitely getting there with like confidence and stuff like that. I'm confident in what I'm doing, and I think that that's why I've become so happy. But yes, I used to be very, very negative, and I can sometimes have my own negative thoughts, which I hate. Like, I really hate that. So sometimes I'll like go into a space and I'll think really negative about, you know, things. I can be very, very moody. I am a Cancer, so I can definitely be moody. That does not mean, because I remember I told someone that, and they said, so wait, do you have tantrums? And I was like, no. And I was like, in a mood? No. Moody for me, it means like, I'm very up and down at times. Like, I can be really happy, and then I might just like go into deep thought, and then I'll be like kind of low. Like, I know that sounds like really bad, like I'm bipolar or something, but it's not like that. That's something that I hate about me, being like moody and very sensitive. Do you find it hard trying to keep up with the YouTube/Instagram game? I can't imagine trying to take photos on a consistent basis. I actually do. Like, I'm not even gonna bullshit now. Like, I actually do find it very hard. For me personally, I find filming videos a lot easier than I do taking photos. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but in my photos, usually I will just do like a bunch of photos in one day and swap all of my outfits. Like, usually that's what I'll do. I won't even do them, like, take photos every single day. I'll just do them all in like one day. I don't know, like, I'm definitely a bit slack on the Instagram. I don't post daily. Sometimes I'll post like a cluster of photos in like a couple of days because I have them on my phone, but that's about it. Like, I'm not as much of a person that always wants to be photographed. Like, I definitely don't. I don't think that I look hot shit all the time. Like, I don't. So for me, I'm not as much of the Instagrammer, and I prefer YouTube. It's much more real. Like, I know there's a lot of fake people on here, but I like this sort of stuff. I like talking, I like moving, I like doing this sort of thing. It's much more passionate than just taking a photo of somebody. Like, that's why I'm YouTube. I'm like YouTube all the way. Like, Instagram, I could live without Instagram, but I could never live without YouTube. If somebody told me I could not watch a YouTube video again, I would absolutely cry. Men look for wifey qualities. What are the qualities that women look for? That's a great question. I'm Ben_kitchens. I'm glad that you cared enough to ask something like that, because a lot of guys don't care. Well, I'm just talking from my experience. I'll name like maybe like 3 things that I look for in a guy. I would say somebody with a very kind and pure heart. I know that's a little bit, but for me, I have to be with somebody that has a good heart. Like, that's like a deal breaker. And surprisingly enough, there are a lot of people out there that don't have a good heart and are not a good person. There are a lot of them out there. Just somebody with a good heart, that's just something I need to have. Otherwise I won't be okay. And especially because I'm very sensitive, and I have a big heart myself, so I need someone that's also like that. Okay, another thing that I look for, obviously, like I said, is somebody that's passionate and ambitious, that has a dream and chases it and is gonna get there, and he knows he's gonna get there, and he's also very confident in himself. I also look for confidence because I love confident guys. Like, I do. Funny enough, like, even though I'm pretty introverted and a little bit shy, I love somebody with confidence because I find that obviously very sexy. How did you get started reviewing fragrances on YouTube, and do you have a mentor? Okay, so obviously I started off my channel doing makeup and beauty, and it wasn't really, as much as I really wanted it to, it wasn't really going where I wanted it to go. And as I realized that the feedback that I wasn't getting was as, you know, strong as my perfume reactions. Like, whenever I made a perfume video, I would get a lot of views, and you know, all the comments and like all the people, like, it was very exciting, and it felt like I felt like a YouTuber when I was getting all these comments and all this sort of stuff. But then I would go back to making a makeup video, and I know it's not all about views. I know that, guys, like, I'm not doing this just for views, but I noticed that, like, the makeup videos didn't do very well, and I felt like a lot of people didn't really want to see them. So I just started, and I know there's people out there probably watching this video and going like, I wanted to see your makeup stuff. Like, I wanted to. I'm sick of the perfume. Like, I get it. But I think as I, you know, continued, I started getting quite discouraged, and it's not any of your like fault, obviously, but I did start to feel quite discouraged because my makeup videos just didn't do well. And I always thought that I was pretty good at makeup, but then I started to realize that my videos didn't get views, and I'm probably not going to get anywhere in makeup for a very long time because makeup is so popular. Like, there is so many people doing makeup that it's just ridiculous. Like, there's too many channels now doing makeup. I just don't watch any makeup videos anymore, and I've definitely lost my passion for makeup, which sounds so sad, but I lost my passion for makeup. And I think you guys can tell, like, I go the much more natural route now, which I love, and I feel most confident wearing this sort of makeup, and I feel the best and I feel the most beautiful when I wear a lot more natural kind of makeup. I don't ever do like a full-on makeup look anymore. Like, I don't even wear one to go out anymore. So I've definitely lost my passion for like full glam makeup, which is so sad. Like, and I'm very sad about it. And my mum's even sad. Like, everyone kind of asks me in my life, like, oh, do you still do makeup? And I'm like, not really. Like, I've really lost my like will to do it. And I've got a huge passion for fragrance. Like, that's, you know, I was always passionate about fragrances even before I did makeup. I have my own little collection and I loved it so much, but I never thought that people would want to hear me talking about fragrances until I made that video, and then everyone started giving me a great reaction, which made me feel so good, and it made me feel so happy, and it just made me feel a part of something, which sounds a bit lame, but yes. No, I don't have a mentor. I honestly just, I've watched YouTube videos. That's how I've kind of learnt my way to go about it, so yeah. Okay, I think that I will leave that there. Yes, okay, I'll leave that there. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this very, very, very long Q&A. I'm sorry it was so long, but I'm assuming if you clicked on a Q&A, you expected it to be somewhat long, so anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you want to see any more sort of stuff like this, because honestly, I love to talk. I think you guys can tell I love talking. I'm happy to do a few more of these more chatty sort of videos if you wanted to see them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!